our speaker today to give us better insight into facing, managing, and coping with our fears. Over to you, Akshay.
Thank you very much, Aishwarya. And you said really nice things about me. I didn't expect it's going to come out like this. Thank you so much again. And so let's start. So for me, I understood the aspect of the facing fears. How I understood is really when the COVID hit. Once the COVID hit, I knew what fear is. Otherwise, also I had other fears going on. So, but before I get in, I just like all of us wants to just little bit give me a little charge. So can you just give me a clap, please? Come on, can we do that? If you can, thank you. I'm a performer, so thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So let's get into the meeting, and I should start my presentation. Yeah, just 1 second. Yeah. Okay. So. All right. Okay. So yeah. So welcome to the Facing Your Fears. So today, these days, we have a lot of people whom we know, or even we must have seen within ourselves, where there are a lot of uncertainty happening around. Some people it's jobs, some people it's even certain relationships, and it happens such that we are not able to make that effort or the step to go further. So today, let's go a little more into this. So nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more, so that now is the time to understand more, so that we may fear less. Basically, the meaning behind it is, if we have something what we fear, if we understand what it is, because sometimes we might perceive it wrong, that's why the fear is more. But when we understand the reality of it, it's not that that's fearful at all. Okay, next. Yeah. So what is fear? One, fear is very natural. It happens to everyone. Then it's really powerful, because the kind of fear it affects us. You can see how it affects us, like in many ways, because of the fear you're not able to move ahead. Like there are so many things. Because of fear you're not able to go and sit for the right interview, for the right job. You think, no, I don't think I'm really worth it. Or because of fear, multiple examples, even in relationships, you're not able to confront someone because of fear. So in that way, fear can really hit you. It's powerful. And it's very primitive, because fear really, when you see the origin of fear, it's actually from the time in the ancient times, where our our ancestors were cavemen. See, that time it developed as a responsive. It is something as a, sorry, not responsive. It's like it's a reflex. Basically, it's like cavemen. They used to know fight or flight. So their legs are really light, and they have to see a potential threat. So in that way, fear is also an alarm. It's an alarm for our body. Sometimes in the morning, unexpectedly, Lena is sleeping, suddenly alarm, you get up. So that is something what fear is, because somebody is scaring us, or any of that. Like suddenly I'm walking to the room, somebody is scaring behind, and that jerk, it's like an alarm. Like suddenly, somebody reflects what you do. So that is one way fear is an alarm. But fear is also good. Fear is good how? Okay. You can make the best out of your fear. For example, a kid studying for a maths exam, and maths or economics, any tough subject, and the kid is really scared, like what's going to happen, like am I going to fail the exam tomorrow, and first thing is fear, how the kid is going to face the exam. Next is, oh my god, now after if I fail the exam, my parents are going to really hit me. Now it's going. So one fear gives birth to another. So it going. It's a continuous process. But at the same time, when the kid is ensuring, oh my God, now what this, I'm really scared. What I'm going to do, I'm really going to sit and study hard. And because of the fear, the kid really concentrates more on this because he knows that should not. So because of fear, it's facing this fear, is really studying. And then you can use the fear, you can use your fear to the best of you. And everybody of us, we have our own examples on how we all like to use our fear to for us, not fear. We are under fear. Fear is under us. That's what the goal is. Okay. Next, there are different levels of fear. There's different levels, like that is mild, medium, and intense. So, for an example of mild, medium, and intense. So, for example, let's take I have a call. So, I have a call to make at 6 o'clock in the evening. So, like, I need to call this person. I promised that 6 o'clock I'll call you, and then and then I come back at 8 o'clock, and that person is say my mother. Okay, so I come back at 8 o'clock. I'm like, oh, I was supposed to call this person. Oh my God, no! Like I need to. I'm just scared. My mom, like, no, she's going to say something. She's going to throw it, and okay, fine. Like I have something, but I can manage. It's not a big deal. So that's a mild level of fear. But if the same person was my boss, you know it is that it increases. I'm like, oh, I have not called sir. Oh my God, like, see, already see my hands are shivering. So that is a medium level because it's more like it gets more like stronger. Now, same situation. I'm coming 6 o'clock. I called someone. 8 o'clock I realized, oh, I'm not called. I pick up my phone, and that one person is my wife. I take the phone. 87 missed calls. 87 missed calls. And that level of fear, that is intense. That is an intense level of fear. Because I know when I go, gone, it's like that. So the thing is, I'm already sweating. But yeah, so these are the different kinds of fear I'm saying, like mild, medium, and intense. Like, because we all have our levels in accordance, we can match. That's exactly what I'm saying. Next. So, common fears. So, these are the kind of fears you must have seen people around us in our own environment. You might have seen people, your friends, and your family must have seen a few fears. This is something like which you can relate. But before I get into it, can we have some common fears in the chat box, please? You can type it in the chat box. Any fear.
Exam fear.
Exam fear, exactly. Yes, wonderful. Thank you.
When
Anything
we are
else,
going to
please?
the doctor, when we are going to see the doctor, the consultation fear.
Yes, consultation fear. Yes, sometimes injections. Yes, cockroaches, darkness. Of course, definitely. Yes, yes. We all have our fears. Anxiety, yeah, yes, yes. Of course, anxiety about children. Yes, about their future. Stage fear. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, definitely, because we have that. Like, the thing is, fear. Everybody have our own definition of fear, because it's not necessarily commonly we're all afraid of something. Of course, COVID also, all of us are afraid. That's a different thing. But, like, we all have our own definitions. Miss Sindhu saying, when teacher asks questions, of course, definitely. When you're in class and suddenly teacher asking, like, me, I understand. But we all have our own definitions. Just like how for me, fun is the different definition of myself. Like, fun, love, we all have our different definitions. So let's go through some common fears a lot of people face. And one thing also, which I would like to add in this is, there are people out there who are afraid of something. Fear is there. Like, let's try not ridiculing them. Let's try to appreciate them. Let help them face their fear, because we all are fighting our own battles. So let's go into the common fears. Yeah. Okay. So, so, so what is this? Can anybody explain when they see this picture? What do they understand from this picture? What does it say? Can somebody say something? Like you can share, please.
Loneliness.
Oh, exactly. To the point. To the point. Yes, it is exactly the fear of loneliness. And they don't that there's a thought in their mind where they really that's what the insecurities are built, and you know they isolate themselves and through the fear of loneliness, because some people react in the fear of being lonely. They tend to react a little bit here and there, and they end up being lonely. That's kind of manifestation. What is this? Can anybody tell me? Yes, who's this? Can anybody guess what is this?
Fear of death.
Definitely. And thank you so much. Next. How about this?
Accident fear.
Accident fear.
Yes, almost. The thing what I had, of course, accident fear is still a genuine fear. This basically, this picture I put inspired by myself because I have fear of driving. So yes, so this is basically fear of driving. See, one sec. And yes. How about this, please?
Suicide attempt.
No, fear of heights.
Yes, fear of heights. Very good. Thank you. Very nice. Very nice. Really get scared, and it was genuinely not like a real phobia. It was just somewhere she had this in her mind that when I jump into water, sharks will come. I'm like, sharks? No, don't come. I'm standing here. Come. So the kind of positive affirmations what you give that other person, because it happens when another person is there with you, it really boosts them. But in case when you don't have anybody else, we have only ourselves. We need to take that step. So now I will be getting into a little more like how where we had left off. I will be continuing from there. Please give me a moment. Yes. Here. Yes. So basically, this again, fear of the next day's exam, or fear of a test, fear of a teacher. So it's the kind of a fear what a student by himself is going through, because everybody, just like parents have their view and the children have another view. There are multiple perspectives of fear, and this is one such. Can anybody tell me what do you understand by this picture? Huh?
We're asking people to just go away, leave us alone.
Almost, yeah. Like yes. It's coming close. Somebody else, can you try, please?
Oh, can you please stop?
Can you please stop it? I don't want to listen.
Okay. Wow. Is this about my training? You're saying?
Sorry, no.
Dejection.
Yes. It's actually the fear. If someone says no, fear of you can take this because at first I had put in one meaning, but when I kept seeing this picture, there's so many things that ran. One is fear of rejection, and then also it can also mean fear of confrontation, because from my side it's a rejection.
ആരോ ഇട്ടുന്ന കുഞ്ചു അടുത്ത ആരോ ഒരു ലിങ്ക് ഇട്ടുന്നുണ്ട്.
And then you have that the other person's side, when you see they just want to push away people. They're afraid of confrontation because they feel they have a very negative experience about it in their head. And then that's about the common fears what I had gone through. Now what we shall do is fear is basically it's when you can just step out of your comfort zone, because fear not necessarily is within your comfort zone, because when the word comfort is there, fear is not there. So let's see how few types of people you know um, you can see how a few types of people react to like when how they sorry I just slipped. So how they behave during, like when they're out of their comfort zone. So now one type we have extroverts. So extroverts, what they do, so they are already out there. So when they are stepping out of their comfort zone, and they'll be like, yeah, it's okay, I can do it, no problem, and then they'll be like, yeah, but I got an image to keep up, and should I really do it, or it's fine, I probably I won't do it. They don't really they just think about their image, they're like, yeah, should I do it, because I'm like, it's not my kind of thing, it's okay, I don't want to do it. But inside, they know, they're having that fear, that they can't do. Next is how introverts deal. Introverts, I have a few friends who are introverts, and they are they're comfortable on their own they're comfortable on their own manner, because they're like, yeah, I'm fine here in my room, why should I go there and talk to people. They are mostly, you can see, they have fear of public speaking, and then they have the fear of confrontation, like meeting strangers, especially in a particular networking place, or they're like, yeah, they just have their own space, don't get into their space, it's like that. So they're just comfortable, they don't want an outside their comfort zone. They're like, they just prefer, they don't want to go because it's not their type. So it's like that. So when you see that, these are the kind of people when they step out of their comfort zone. Next, let's go. So did anybody relate to any of this, either the extrovert or the introverts? Anybody? Were you able to relate to it? You can say yes or no in the chat box. Preferably yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, great. So let's move on.
Yeah, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So now, this is something which I have learned in the recent past, at least on a much more stronger basis. So every time, when you have to face something which you fear, like something you have to do which you are afraid, you know, just ask yourself a basic of just two questions. Just two questions. Okay. First question: if you do this, are you really at risk? No, how risky is it actually going to be? What you're going to do? Probably it could be taking your car, because you're not. Because for me, I'm just giving you an example, relatable, because many of us, some of us, not many of us, have a trouble driving the car. Just go ahead. How risky could it be? I'm not going to run over people and kill. It probably has few scratches. That's all. Just take the car only to get the hang of it. Or any fear what you're going through. Are you really at risk? Think about it. Next, what's the worst that could happen? What's the worst? Whatever. No matter if it's not going to be the end of the world or not going to be the end of your life. Because when you face your fears, just go ahead, just go experiment, go play with your fear. It's okay. That's what my, certain instances, if you fail, I'm saying, if you fail in facing your fears, there's something which my parents have taught me. Go ahead, go for it. Either you will have a good lesson or you'll get a good experience. Either not any of that will happen. So go ahead, enjoy life, like that they used to say. So that is something which I can really relate to in this. That in fact helped me push more into facing my fears, observing. Okay, this is something, because some few around 2 weeks back somebody said, I can see a lot of fear in your face. I'm like, me? Okay. And that somewhere, I started developing a lot of complex. I'm like, do I look fear? And I look in the mirror, I'm like, yeah, I do look afraid. So then I was like, I'm going to list down things. So there are a lot of practices which I practiced. So this is really, really helpful, and this will really help you realize more. So and you can also share these kind of practices with people whom are having an issue, with facing fears, because it's not about just what we learn, it's about how much we can give others as well. So let's go into a few practices, what I have done, what I've learned from people who have really mastered conquering fear. Let's go through a few aspects. Okay, are we ready to aspects? Can I get some enthusiasm in the chat box, or in the, you can all unmute yourself and say, yes, I'm ready.
Yes, I'm ready.
Thank you, Ms. Sindhu. Thank you. Anybody? Nobody else is ready?
Yes, yes, ready.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
are.
Thank you. Thank you. Good. 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 Great audience. Thank you. So let's go into this. What does this picture describe? Can anybody tell me? What does this picture describe?
Life cycle.
Yes, almost. Yes, yes, yes. From
Infancy to adulthood.
Baby to
yes,
a girl.
uh,
Baby to a party.
oh, baby to party.
Nice.
So basically,
Thank
from the
you.
welcome, Dia.
Yeah, Diya is
So,
talking.
yeah. So, so from the childhood till the adulthood, understand this that fear is constant. Throughout life, we have something, we have fear of. I'm sure, as adults, we might know what we were afraid. Certain things that which really brought us fear when we were children is not what we have. Rather, probably, people with children, you might know, they might be having those fears with you, somewhere deep down. But of course, we've been maybe a little more relaxed these days with the children. And the thing is, we all have different, at different stages, we have different fears, and we just have to keep going through it, facing it, because once we face it, only it'll be one day we can overcome it. So it'll be there, but different fears will only be there. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, so let's see some best practices to face these fears, because anyway they're constant. So why not, let's keep some tips and tricks handy just in case we can face our fears. Okay, first, acknowledge and accept your fears. Some of us some of us don't want to believe by itself that we have that fear. Let us observe and understand. Okay, certain fears are really in front of us. Certain fears we understand through our actions. For example, let me give an example. Do you find yourself getting angry at any particular situation? Think about that particular situation and see the source behind it. Were you hurt about something, or were you afraid about something? Because we generally get angry when deep down we have a kind of fear, or a kind of sadness. It just comes out as an outburst. So that's how, so when we can just acknowledge them and accept them, you understand. Okay, so then when you note your fears, that's when you, your fears, and then you accept. Okay, I am afraid. Because once you accept, a big step is done, because you have accepted it. Once you accept, only next step we can go, because you acknowledge it. Okay, I have it. Okay, so next, let's go to the next step, where, yes, my favorite, a few moments of silence every day. So every day, when we just have, though there is a lot of rush happening, a lot of things, we have different words. With this meditation, yes, meditation is also a word. But you have your own quiet place. Find a place where nobody, nothing is disturbing you. You're just with yourself. You can just sit, close your eyes, and probably, I can hear the fan sound now, but yeah. And with the fan, just sit, and then you're peaceful, and you just slowly keep it. Just let the thoughts flow. Let the thoughts flow. And think. Just sit and see. Just sit and see. Just think about your day also, if you want, because it will come. It will just come. So, and after that, when you open your eyes, probably after 10 minutes or 15 minutes, definitely, I'm telling you, you will find a little bit of, kind of clarity, or little kind of peace. Because focus on it. Just close your eyes. And it's so beautiful, because certain times when I'm filled with work, I'm because I feel I'm not progressing. I know I'll be like, okay, I have a deadline. I need to do what to do. So what I do is I go sit silently in my room for some time, And that really helps because it will help you develop more clarity in this particular, a few moments of silence every day. And do it as much as you can. It's your time, it's your life, it's in your control only. How much ever time you want, just spend the moment of silence. Okay. Next. Now that we have accepted and acknowledged, your fear, and then you're getting more clarity as the day goes on. Probably because when you, one more thing about the clarity is about the silent meditation and meditation or time in silence is that, you know at those times, that fear wouldn't seem big to you. That will be like, oh, it's not a big deal. Like that can also happen. Certain instances it happen, like those mild fears. And next is write down your fears. Like sometimes it's everything is here. Like probably you have multiple fears. You have everything here, and that's why you're not able to, like, it's a heavy stone is or heavy helmet you put, so your walking balance is not there. So when you put it down, whatever is here, you put it down on paper, it look much more like, clear. I'm like, oh, okay. If there was a cobweb in my mind, I put it into a straight line. It's fully straight line. It is there. So write down your fears and address it. Address it as in, so okay, this needs immediate dealing with. So deal with it then and there. Okay, this is something. Okay, so what is my height? Okay, I am afraid of heights. So what I do, like, I go stand in a, top, like not top of a building. I probably in a balcony of a friend who has top, who's in the top building or something. I just go stand there. Though it really feels like, really it shakes me up, but I'm just going to go stand there. This is something which I want to do often because through practice it'll be like, yeah, okay. Because I used to live in a second floor. Suddenly standing in a 15th floor balcony and watching down, it's new, but I'll get used to it. So address it. Write down your fears and address it. Okay. Next, this is also really great help is get a perspective from a trusted source. So we need to talk to someone who wouldn't judge us, especially because the person who you can trust is also a different thing. But ensure that person is not judgmental of any decision what you make, and who's just coming with an open mind. So I usually have these conversations because I had few fears in my head as well, because it keeps coming. So I used to call my friend because I used to really worry in my head. I used to call my friend and I used to speak. As I'm explaining my fear, two things happens. As I'm explaining my fear, I realize I'm just listening to the words that are coming from my mouth. I'm like, was it really that bad? Because here it looks so scary and dangerous. And when it comes out, I'm like, it doesn't seem that big after all. Okay. But other times also certain things which are like, big, like, oh my God, like, how do I deal with this? And I'm not able to, even if I say also, I'm getting more tense when I speak. But my friend on the other end will have a perspective, a third, like, another angle this. So this particular perspective, it could, actually help you, because sometimes we are so emotionally clouded, there is no clarity in thinking. The answers are right in front of us. We are not able to see it. Sometimes we need our colleague or our children to actually point it out and tell us why. Like, many stories you must have learned where an adult is speaking something and the 5-year-old daughter just says, the answer, and then the mother is like, oh, how did you know? Like, it's actually, the thing is, if the answers are there, if we have clarity, we can bring, like, the answers will come. Sometimes it's always good when we are having our own struggles, it's good to have a trusted person with you. Okay. So this one is something what I practice every day. Affirm to yourself more often. What is affirm? Affirm is basically you telling yourself, you reaffirm, you keep telling. So I have certain affirmations what I tell every day in front of the morning. Like, I'm the architect of my life. My life, I'm going to be successful. Like, I am really, like, I'm charming. I think I do a lot of things, and like, I'm not afraid to take new risks every day. So affirmation, it's not, there's no, this is only the affirmations what you should use. There's nothing like that. We all can write a lot of, like, I can do it, or your own affirmations you can write 10 times, 20 times, just keep telling it again and again. Because subconsciously you're charging, charging everything, because these thoughts it'll actually transform into actions. Because when I keep telling, because there was a time for a few years actually, I was like, no, I'm an actor, I'm an actor, I'm an actor. For a while, after a while, it just became such, I used to walk around like, I just became that. I felt I could, because I was, seeing that stardom, I was thinking, I'm already an actor. It's actually, and then I started getting roles. And that is something where the manifestation. So affirm yourself, that you're not afraid, at least I can easily face my fears. Affirm yourself, I can face my fears. So let's see if, can we face our fears? Can you tell me? Can you give me a cheer, please? Can we face our fears? Yes. Can we face our fears?
Definitely, yes.
Yes, we can face our fears. Yes.
Yes, we can.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So now, I'm going to finish off with my favorite quote from my favorite author, Dale Carnegie. Do the thing you fear to do and keep on doing it. That's the quickest and surest way ever yet to discover to conquer fear. In other words, this one truth which I will say before I finish my PPT. The last thing what I say, keep facing your fear, because the more you face your fear, the weaker your fear gets. Keep facing it again and again and again. Your fear will keep breaking it down, 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 and down, and down. So that's been my time. Thank you very much for your time and listening to me. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Wow. Can we have a big round of applause for Mr. Akshay? Wow, that was amazing session. Thank you, Mr. Akshay, for leaving us with the positive vibes on facing our fears. The techniques which you have suggested are all like within our means. So, wow, that was amazing. The power to control our fears actually lies within us. Thank you all for participating. Questions, comments, and suggestions are welcome. You can comment it below in our chat box. We look forward to networking with parents, professionals, and educators to contact us. Do follow us, our Facebook page, to attend more valuable-based webinars. So until next time, thank you. Have a nice weekend. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much,
everybody, for joining us.
Thank you so much, one and all. I have mentioned the Facebook link in the comment box. Kindly subscribe us and follow us on Facebook.
Great.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
So thank you. Until next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Will there be another session or something to be looking forward in the future by Fun Learning and the team, and by the speaker, Mr. Akshay, also?
Yes, we can look forward to
it.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much for boosting us, Mr. Akshay. It was really nice.
Thank you so much. Really.
That was really...
We'll do it practically about how managing fears are, and we'll definitely keep our fears, set aside and face our days more boldly.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.